Welcome to the Den of Tools.
Howdy ho, guys and gals, it's Red, your friendly neighborhood tool bear, back again here in the Den of Tools. Sorry, I know I've been gone for a while. Jeff and the family had COVID, so I was staying, the heck away from that place. I wasn't going near it. So anyway, the bear's back, and we got some new stuff here from Harbor Freight. We got some brand new tools, including some Hercules cordless tools. They are technically brushless, but let's get into it. You'll see what I mean. First up, we've got the 20-volt Hercules lithium-ion 2800 lumen cordless LED stick light, tool only. Okay, these are all going to be tool only, and yes, they are all going to be lights. But you know what? If you're in the Hercules brand already, if you've got the batteries, these, I'm guessing, are some of the key accessories that you've been looking for, that you've really wished, like, hey, when are we getting these? Bauer's had them for some time. As you see here, we've got the stick light. It's got the adjustable face on it. It takes the regular Hercules batteries, puts out a decent amount, nice even lighting, which is what you really want. You don't want the really hot, bright spots, hot spots with a floodlight like this. You want it to light up the work area, and that's what this is going to do for you. They're going to be $27.99. No coupons out as of yet, and typically, you know how it works with Harbor Freight. Stuff comes out. The price is usually a little bit high. Hopefully, it works its way down, and then we start seeing coupons as well. All right, also from Hercules, we've got the your typical handheld spotlight. This is this is when you want to go out there and you really want to see what you're looking at. So you've got 2200 lumen cordless pivoting job site LED spotlight. Again, tool only. You got the hook on the back, or at least the handle, so you can tie it off to things and whatnot. It's got the typical pistol grip on it. It'll stand in one position when you have the battery on it. And of course, all of these also have the save. I think it's $25 on all of them. Let me just make sure here. It actually, yeah, there we go. Save $25 on that one also. Basically, you can make your own combo. So if you buy this, you buy a charger, you buy a battery, you get $25 off. So the Hercules, it's always they're sold individually. It's the build your own combo concept. So anyway, and this one we'll see from the opposite side there's the pivoting head on it. It's just a basic handheld spotlight. Nice bright light. Definitely want to use probably one of the bigger batteries for it, because you're going to be putting out a lot of power. Now here's an option for you. Now, I've got this in the Bauer brand, which is actually this one right down here. And this is the Hercules version of this. And we're looking at 2000 lumen dual power LED work light. And what do they mean by dual power? Well, they mean just that. So you can use the battery, or you can plug it into a 110. This thing is fantastic. We use it all over the house. We've used it for projects, indoors, outdoors. We've used it for lighting. We have an issue right now where a light switch broke in the house, and we've got the old school push button mechanical light switches. So I'm waiting for a new one to come in. Till then, guess what's the light in the bathroom there? Yep, that's the light we got. These things happens when you have old houses, and of course, I don't have the Hercules one yet. We're using the Bauer for this, but it's very similar to that light. Anyway, it's got a nice square LED on it. It's multi-positional. The handle's positional on it as well. And these things have tons of spots where you can hang it off of. You see on the bottom, you've got spots where you can hang it off of a screw or a nail. They got here it's a hook system goes through there, so you can hang it off of a line. They just got tons of different options. And then you can see they even have the typical tripod kind of mount over there as well. Lots of different ways to set this thing up and run. Puts out a great amount of light. And it even looks like it's variable light. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check on that. But it looks like it might have a variable light output, and that would be really nice. And speaking of Bauer, they've now got, finally, the rapid charger for the Bauer. Now, I know they've talked about the other charger being a fast charger, whatever. This is your true 3 amp Rapid Plus charger. This is, now that we've got the bigger batteries coming out for Bauer, you need the faster charging. You're really, here, trust me, if you've got one, you know what I'm talking about. You really want to get one. So here we go, $30 for a fast charger. You still have the regular basic charger there for $23. But as I say, now that we've got the 5 amp hour batteries out here, and we know the 8 amp hour batteries are coming down the road, this is definitely what you're going to want to deal with those kind of batteries. Next up from Bauer, we've got the 20-volt Hypermax, so another cordless lithium-ion sheet sander, quarter sheet sander. with dust bag, tool only, of course, here. And this is going to be this is not like an orbital or something like this. This is going to be for taking down material in on a nice flat surface. You're going to have to watch how you work it because you're not being orbital. You can, leave marks and stuff, and work the grain, that kind of sort of thing. But anyway, if you've been looking for a quarter sheet sander, a cordless one, I say again, and I mean, I know it's exciting to see more cordless stuff. When it comes to sanders, I almost always recommend going with the corded because of the runtime on them. You just can't beat the corded runtime. You know how the bear is on that. But that said, I mean, if you want cordless, you can go with cordless. We got the corded for $35 or the cordless for $35. Essentially the same price, although you do have to provide the battery on this one. All right, now also we got Bauer again. Not really kind of the Bauer lineup, but they're putting it in the Bauer lineup, and this is their floor blower. See if I can say that correctly. Anyway, $80. Now, this is interesting because I always think of these as something you just sit down and it's for like blowing a floor that got flooded, or you've mopped, or you've done carpet cleaning or something. That's what I was saying. But this one's interesting in that the footing on it, and maybe there are other ones out there. I'm not a huge expert on floor blowers. Still can't say it. But the feet are positioned in such a way that you can actually change the direction of this thing. You can even blow it straight up. I don't know. I find that interesting. What do you think about that? They've had lots of other things like this. They've had, this other portable blower as well. They had one like this that was, I don't know if it was a Central Pneumatics or just a Chicago Electric or what, that they took off of the catalog, and now they've replaced it with this one. It looks pretty good. I don't know anything about it. Haven't tested it. If you decide to get one of these, let me know what you think of it. All right, and moving along, we got a new Fortress hot dog compressor. Check this out. Fortress, of course, is their top line. Their good, better, best. Fortress is their best line. And this is a 10-gallon, 175 PSI. That's pretty high up there. Ultra quiet, horizontal shop auto air compressor. This is intriguing. I'll be honest. I've gotten away from the hot dog compressors in that I either am using the ultra small compressors or I use the vertical ones. But if you've got shop space where you've got an area where you can roll this under a bench or something, it can actually be quite convenient. And you can't ignore these specs. I mean, $200, you get 10 gallons, which is decent. That's a decent size, especially when you consider the fact that you have 4.3 SCFM at 90 PSI. That is a respectable size, compressor. Now, here's the deal. Buy a compressor that is what you need, and don't buy way more than that. I see a lot of guys going, I need a 30-gallon compressor. I'm like, what are you going to do with it? Oh, I'm going to, fill up tires and, blow, dust out of the shop. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of overkill. Look at the tools that you're running. I should probably do a video on, sizing the air compressor to what you need. Maybe we'll do one of those in the upcoming weeks here. But the fact of the matter is that this does seem like it has some pretty respectable specs on it. And it says 80% quieter. 80% quieter than what? I wish they'd just tell us what it is. I'm sure they probably do down here. Let me see here. We've got, or not. Maybe they don't tell us exactly what the sound rating on it is. But most of these Fortress ones have been fairly quiet. So I would be interested to see just exactly how quiet this one is. All right, next up we got the Centex 750 amp jump starter and power supply. Now, if you've heard me talk about this stuff from Harbor Freight before, you've always heard me say I'm not a fan of the Centex stuff and to get the Viking grade equipment. That said, these are new tools from Centex. I'm willing to give them a second chance. I have not tried it. If you've tried any of the new Centex, the stuff that's been upgraded and released and replaced the older stuff, let me know. But I mean, I'll be honest, I've not been, the power packs I guess have been okay. Nothing to write home about, but like these jump starters and the batter trickle chargers, I've been less than impressed. In fact, I've been pretty ticked off by a couple of them. The Viking stuff I've all seen has been worked fabulous, and I've been really happy with. So let me know what you think about this if you've tried it. If I get my paws on it sometime soon, I will do a video on it. We got the Drummond Pump. Now, this is the 1/8 horsepower submersible utility pump. A lot of people will call this the old, sump pump. It's more of an emergency throw out for flooded areas kind of pump. Um, I don't know if you could use it in your basement. I don't know if I would sit down there and be like, yeah, this is my emergency, automatic start kind of thing. That said, I did reach out to a bunch of people who have used the Drummond pumps for all sorts of different ones, and I got back rave reviews on them. I've not used them personally, but I get a lot of feedback from you all, and that is universally across the board. What I've heard from everyone is that they've been more than thrilled with the Drummond water pumps. Next up, we got from Quinn, the 8-inch self-adjusting wire strippers. I love this style of wire stripper. I've used tons and tons. I used to run wire, a lot of Cat 5, Cat 6, fiber, and other stuff. And we're talking miles and hundreds of miles, thousands of miles of cable. And I've done so many ends and junctions and stuff, you have no idea. And ultimately what came down to this style. Now, not this one specifically, of course, because it's new. I've not used it. But this style, this of course is the old school one. I guess before that was, that one spot in your teeth where you get it just right to strip it. Now, boys and girls, I'm not saying, the Bear's not saying you should do that. That's bad. Very, very bad. But there's a lot of gimmicky kind of stuff out there for wire stripping. And ultimately, at the end of the day, this is the style of wire stripper that I carried on my bag when I was running cable. And I'm really interested to see it come out in the Quinn line. If you don't know, Quinn is the middle line prosumer grade hand tools at Harbor Freight, above the Pittsburgh and below stuff like the Doyle and the Icon and whatnot. So anyway, I'm interested in taking a look. I'm definitely going to pick these up and see what I can do with them. I have some other brands to compare it against, so we'll take a look at that. Next up, we got the Hallmaster 2-ball adjustable aluminum hitch, 6-inch drop, 6-inch rise. What that means, of course, is this is reversible. So if you got a lifted truck and you got to drop that down so the tongue is level, you can do that. Or if you've got a truck that's average height or maybe even a little bit lower, and you need to raise it up again to level it out, you can just flip it upside down and do that. And you got 2 different ball sizes on this, and it's $100. Now, it does say aluminum before anybody freaks out. I've used aluminum hitches before. They know how to do the metallurgy and everything for that to make it work. Lots of guys use them. The real benefit from them is no corrosion, no rust. All right, so that's a big deal to take into account. Anyway, just more in the towing category. In fact, we got more automotive. We got the Road Shock. This is cool. This is the 12-volt utility rock LED light. When they say rock LED, what they typically mean, let me see if they got a picture of it. No, not really. Is that people mount these up under like the wheel wells on like a Jeep and stuff like that. And it gives you the ability as you're going over rock to light the area around the tire so you can see how much tire travel you're getting and what you're going over as well. I actually have a kit of a off-brand, some Chinese knockoff company of these that I gave to a buddy of mine. He put on a golf cart. It actually looks pretty cool. Has that kind of underglow effect like from the old neon kind of kits. But anyway, moving on. We got some more Road Shock stuff. We got the 6-inch LED spotlight. Again, if you're looking for some more directional off-road light, that's what this is really good for. But what's really exciting is we've got a new 32-inch floodlight. We also have a 42-inch and the big boy 52-inch LED combo light bar there. Next up, we've got the Laguna windshield removal tool. Now, first of all, removing windshields is a pain in the fuzzy backside. So having a good tool to do that is important. The Laguna brand here at Harbor Freight, I'm not exactly sure what that is. Now, they've had essentially the same tool for Pittsburgh for a while, and it does not have good reviews. For everyone who says that Harbor Freight deletes all the negative reviews, clearly not. But they do have, if you curse or you say something, that's inappropriate, they won't post that video, or that review. But they clearly do post the negative reviews. Anyway, that said, this has not been a fabulously reviewed tool. Hopefully, the Laguna here, for a few bucks more, will fix some of those problems. We'll have to see. I don't know how much of this really is the tool and how much is the fact that just dealing with windshields is a pain in the you-know-what. Anyway, then we've got this. Check this out. Predator, which apparently they're lining this up with to go with the Predator pumps that they have. We got the Predator 100-foot high volume watering kit. Now, I don't know about you, but when I see a red hose looking like this, the last thing I think is watering. Spray water a range of 25 feet, a height of 50 feet, spray distance in 93 gallons per minute. And then they show us pictures like this. This guy is drawing water out of, now note he's got I don't know if you can see this, he's got a filter at the end of it. That's important. Maybe not as big an issue in a nice clean swimming pool like this, but if you're pulling it out of a dirty pond or something like that, you definitely want an intake filter before your pump. Pulling it into his pump, his old Predator motor or engine pump. Sorry, my Kentucky's slipping in there. Anyway, and he's watering his trees. I don't know about you, but I don't think that, now the bear's not the greenest thumb there is, but I don't think using chlorinated water to spray my trees is probably the best case scenario. Now, the funny thing is they show not one, but two of these pictures. Look at, he's going to town there, leaning back into it. He's spraying those trees down. Again, with chlorinated water, not probably the best call. That said, I get the distinct feeling that they're trying to market this in such a way, but they can't use the verbiage that they would like to use. As I said, it's for use with the Predator 2-inch gas semi-trash pump. Semi-trash, we're talking about what it can process and how, what kind of water it can move. At least that's my understanding of it. Again, I'm not an expert when it comes to water pumps, but my guess here is, especially with Harbor Freight being based in California and all of California essentially being on fire at pretty much any given time these days, that they're trying to market this as a home fire system. But I guess due to liability and lawyers and people like that, they said you can't say that, so they just made it red and made it look like a fire hose. And I guess this guy's watering his trees down to probably put out a fire or something. Maybe I'm reading into it too much. Let me know. What do you think the point of this? Would you water your trees with chlorinated water? That said, they've got other hoses and stuff that they've sold for some time. I've heard iffy things about the quality. Let's take a look at this one, see what kind of reviews it's got on. This one's got decent reviews on it. Let's see if any of the other ones here had any other comments or anything. Let's go for this. Maybe there's some of the other hoses that somebody was talking about. All right, let's move along here. We got a couple more here. We got the Quinn. Now, this is interesting. A 24-inch indexing pry bar. Indexing pry bar means that the head of the tool there can change, or aka index to a different angle, and then you've got the pry bar behind it. These can be very useful in a lot of different situations where maybe a traditional pry bar just won't quite cut it. Now, that said, I think the really interesting thing here is that we're seeing this in the Quinn line. Of course, the Quinn is their middle of the road. This is going to be a step up from the Pittsburgh, but not quite in the Icon kind of area. Looking at $50 there for the 24-inch, and then they've got a 33-inch extendable pry bar. Now, I will be honest. Anytime somebody says the words extending and pry bar, it makes me quiver a little bit of fearing for my knuckles and whatnot. But only time and testing will tell to see if it can really hold up and do the job. One of the benefits with this, of course, is that it will fit in smaller storage areas. But, they show it in all sorts of different usage. And I guess if you're not, doing anything really crazy, remember that you're using an extending tool. So probably try not to pry, a safe off that's been bolted to a floor with it. Probably not your best bet for it. But it'll get some of the work done. Great for using, as with this, these tools I found are great for having one guy in the tool and doing minute adjustment lifts so you can get a bolt in. When you're doing something like this. That's a great use for that tool. Anyway, that's all the new tools we got from Harbor Freight. Sorry, we've been gone a while. We missed Thanksgiving and whatnot, but you know how that whole COVID thing is. It gets a little crazy. But we're back and hopefully going to be putting out a lot more videos here over the coming weeks, over the Christmas and holiday season on through into the new year. So make sure you've smashed that subscribe button down there so you don't miss any of them. Also, why don't you chomp the like button while you get a chance? I mean, if you're there already, why not do it? Anyway, that's all the bear has for you today. You all take care. God bless. And as always, come on, say it with me. Shine on.